All right, welcome to page 3 and 4 of your study guide for Unit 3. All right, let's go ahead and just kick off this lesson with the secret word. So scrolling up here, we have secret word or phrase. Let's have this be snowflake. Since the hallway's full of snowflakes. So there we go. Secret word phrase, snowflake. Put that in there. When you submit this, I'll give you an extra $100 if you have it. Don't share it with anyone, though. All right, here we go. This is page 3 and 4. I'm going to go through this pretty quickly. Pause and rewind or whatever as you need. All right, so first one, explain what the error is in the math work below. So I see the KFC, which is what I would have done. And then I'm factoring this out. So I factor out an 8. I can see this negative 8x wouldn't work, the 8 times the x. So we're going to write you can't factor out the negative. Okay, so we just had to keep it positive 8 and then have the negative 2 on the inside. All right, next one, we're finding the error, so error analysis. I can see right away 2 times the 4x. He's missing the x here, so I'll write he forgot to put the x with negative 8x. Okay, all right, so done with that. All right, now down to here. What is the area of the rectangle written as an expression? I know area equals length times width, and so, or width times length. And so we have a 2 times x plus 6 is my length times width. So I just need to look for that up top. All right, I don't see a 2 times the quantity of, but if I simplify this, I get 2x plus 12, and I do see that for letter B. Okay. All right, next one, find the length of the rectangle below if the width is 3. Okay, so I know this is my area. So basically, I've just factored out the 3. If I factor out the 3, my length is 3, and the width is 3x. Plus 4 centimeters. And I see that right here in letter C. All right, down to here, this section, simplifying expressions with rational numbers. I will tell you right away, 35 is the big annoying one out of this, so just a heads up on that. All right, here we go. As we go, I'm going to highlight my like terms. So I have the n club, a positive n club, and then a constant. So I just have to join these together. 5/12 plus 1/2. Need to make like denominators, so times 6 over 6. And I get 5/12 plus 6/12. When I join those together, I end up with 11/12 n plus 1/2, and we're done. Okay. All right, number 32, I see that I need to distribute right away. And so I have 2r plus 10 minus 2. Combine like terms, I have a positive 12 and a negative 2. And so we have a plus 8 with the 2r. All right, number 33. Very first thing is distributing. I don't want to forget to distribute this entire term. So I'm just making that stand out. So I have a negative 7r plus, and now I have the negative 7 times 0.9. So that's a 0.9 times 7 is 63. 7 times 0 is 0 plus the 6 is a 6. And then there's 1 decimal movement. So I have a 6.3 over here. Okay. Pay attention, is that positive or negative? A negative times a positive is a negative. So I end up with, and so I end up with, for this, a negative 6.3. And then I bring down my negative 3 over here, combine like terms. Here's a constant, and here's my constant. I'm going to bring down my negative 7r plus a negative plus a negative, negative 9.3. Okay. All right, on to number 34. First thing I see is this distributive that has to happen. So I'm distributing the 3/4 to both of those. So I have 3/4 n plus and 3/4 of 4. I can do that on the side, or maybe you just know that. But 3/4 times 4 over 1, cross simplify, you end up with 3. And then bring down everything else, plus 1/4 n, combine like terms. So I have my n club, my positive n there. I also have my constants here. Joining all that together, I end up with 1n plus 2. Okay. All right, number 35, the pain in the butt one. Just because I have all this rational number fraction work. So we're distributing here and here. The 5, 6 times 1 is pretty easy, but the 5, 6 times 2 over 1 is a little bit annoying. So on the side here, I'm going to do the 5, 6 times 2 over 1, cross simplify, and we end up with 5/3. And so this first part is 5/3 y plus 5/6 minus y. I'm just going to put minus 1y just because I like that. Now we're going to go ahead and combine like terms. So I have 5/3 y minus a 1y. Sort of think through this. I know that 3/3 is 1 whole. So if I take away the 3/3, I end up with 2/3 left of y plus my 5/6. So there we go. All right, number 36. Here we go. Distributing this -1 to everything. I'm going to KFC that as well right away. So a negative times the positive just gives us the negative 1/10 b, plus negative times a negative is going to turn that to a positive 10. Bring down my 3/10 b, highlight my like terms, and a 3/10 b minus a 1/10 b is a 2/10 b plus 10. And there we go. All right, so that's simplifying. Let's go ahead and move on to page 4. Okay, so page 4, identifying equivalent expressions. So we're looking at expression 1 compared to expression 2. Okay, so let's go ahead. We have to solve these out. Your first one right away, I can see I have distributive. I'm going to KFC this. And so we have negative 15x plus negative times a negative is a positive 45 plus the 8. We're going to combine like terms here. And I have a negative 15x. 45 plus 8 is plus 53 as that one. Let's go ahead and check out expression 2. Highlight our like terms. So here's our x club, negative x club, constant club, constant club. Combining like terms, I end up with a negative 15x plus 53. All right, looking at both those to compare, they are equivalent, so we're circling yes. All right, expression 1 and 2 down here for number 38. Right away, I see the distributive here. I need to distribute this entire term. Okay, I'm going to KFC this. All right, and here we go. 6 times 2 is going to be the negative 12x, plus the negative times the negative is just the positive 24. Bring down my negative 8x and highlight my like terms. There's my x club, and a constant. Combine our negative x's, and we end up with negative 20x plus 24. All right, and let's go ahead and look at this one. Oh, multiplication of fractions. Fun. All right, so this is the same thing, if we look at this 7 over 1 as it's going to be 7 divided by 7, so that's not really that bad. So we have our distributive. 1/7 of 7 is 1. Plus, and now I have to do 1/7 of 28, which is also the same thing as 28 divided by 7. And I know that's 4, so this actually isn't that bad. So 4x. And then we bring down our minus 23. Combining like terms, I have a positive constant and a negative constant, which puts me at 4x minus 22 as a final answer. Comparing those, we are not equivalent on those ones. All right, and the last bit here are 2 word problems, writing algebraic expressions with a distributive property. And so let's go ahead and take a look at these. We know that it's going to have parentheses and then something repeated on the outside. So I have 53 amazing students in my class. Each class, here's the single class, has 2 pencils and n boxes of tissues. Okay, for the class supply. Write an expression that would represent the total amount of supplies we'll have. So if each student has this, that's my single amount here. How many students are there? There's 53. So this is my distributive expression, and you can just leave it at that. If we wanted to simplify, you could distribute and get a simplification, but we're okay just leaving it right like that. All right, next one, number 40. There are n classes in school. Oh, okay. Variable. Each class is allowed, so here's my information about each single class, is allowed to have 15 boys and y girls. So I have 15 boys plus y girls. And how many times is that being repeated, meaning how many classes are there? It's a variable, which is n. Okay, and so there we go. There's both of our answers for that section, and that is the end of page 3 and 4. If you have any questions, let me know.